So your ex-spouse is either they owe you money for some reason related to the kids, or they're not following the parenting plan as specified in the court order or your separation agreement. They're doing something where you know that you're right, they're wrong, and you want it fixed. And you're thinking through whether or not to take them to court. So when deciding whether or not that's the right option for you, you really want to think through the pros and cons of doing that. So have you thought through, first of all, maybe the more tangible or easier thing to think through, how much is it going to cost you in money to actually take them to court, in legal fees, in what other fees, filing fees, what have you, to take them to court? Is that worth it to you? And maybe more importantly, have you thought through the stress, the amount of stress of going back to court with this person, the amount of time that it's going to take to get back to court with this person and deal with this issue? And maybe even the bigger picture item, going back to court with this person, what kind of bigger wedge is that going to drive between the two of you who have to co-parent with each other on a regular basis? Is it worth it to you to create an even bigger wedge? And only you really know the right answer to that question. And it may be that this person is so difficult and that you guys are just in this, wrapped up in this negativity that nothing else works and you really feel like court is your only option. You may be right in that circumstance. It really depends. But if you're not totally negative and you guys can actually communicate with each other fairly reasonably, you want to think through then, do I want to make this situation worse? Or would it be better to have a conversation outside of court and try to resolve that thing that is bothering you? Because ultimately, we know sometimes people may do the wrong thing and they may start bad-mouthing the other parent to the children. That tension of going to court may come out in their dealings with the children. And you, being the wiser person of the two, want to think through, what's the big picture here? What am I trying to accomplish? And that old saying about, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy, is really important. And it makes a lot of sense because, again, you want to think through big picture. Going to court may be a quick fix, or a slow fix actually, because it's very backlogged. But even if you do end up winning the thing that you're after, are you really winning in the big scheme of things? Or is this creating more stress for you, more difficulty for you? Are they going to get back at you some other way? And I'm not suggesting that you should back down and be a doormat in any way. But what you want to do is really choose your battles. Is this something that is so bad that it really is worth the ultimate, let's just go to court and battle it out? Or is this something maybe you can live with, even though it's not right, even though they're at fault and your position is the right position? But if you think through the pros and cons, could it be that it's just not worth the fight? That in this particular scenario, maybe you'll give in with the hope that next time they will be the one to give in. And ultimately, it's about the kids, right? It's about how is that going to impact the kids if you do take this person to court. And let's not forget about mediation. Maybe if the two of you can't resolve, maybe you could try mediation instead of going to court. Mediation, as we know, is a much more constructive, positive way to resolve our disputes. Maybe having that third person who is completely objective, doesn't represent either of the two of you, but instead helps you guys have difficult conversations. Maybe that mediator can help you guys come to an agreement where you're both happy. It's a win-win situation. You haven't spent a ton of money on legal fees to go to court, and you haven't gotten the other person completely irritated with you in a way that's going to make them take that out on the way they parent or the way they deal with you moving forward. Instead, with a mediation and a mediated agreement, you guys are actually working toward a common goal together, positively, and for the better good of your family. So something to think about. Have a great day.